previous lesson, I discussed the backswing. So now I'm going to talk about the slide. Okay, in the previous lesson, I'm just going to go through a quick recap. We talked about first how we set up to the ball, how we have our structure. Structure is very important for the backswing. How we have our structure in the backswing is going to allow us to do a lot of different things. But we're just going to have a very standard swing, stock swing, nothing fancy. Chip to the ball and hit a nice good shot. So from here, we've now taken our backswing. We've dropped down our left shoulder, got our right hand over our right shoulder, right side, and it doesn't have to go really high. It can just be kind of a short swing. It has to be someplace where you feel like you can get aggressive and go back to the ball. There's no set rule on where it needs to be up here. Okay. So the way the slide works is we've now created kind of a springboard of the right foot. Okay. And when I talk about slide, to me the slide is the most important, because for us to hit a ball properly, your body has to be ahead of the ball, always. If you hang back, you're not going to have any room for your arms, and that right forearm's going to come close in, and then the snap hook is born. And we don't want a snap hook. That's probably the killer of, for many years, for many golfers. So in order for us to achieve this, we have to be able to get over on the lead foot in order to strike the ball. You don't strike the ball from back here. You'll always have a tendency to snap hook the club, and you don't want that. So this fundamental motion is always going to be going towards the target. Now, going towards the target is not just a hip thing, where the hips are going towards the target, and then you're hanging back with your body, okay? The torso, the upper part of your back and your hips, they kind of need to move together a little bit. Your head's gonna tilt a little bit from left tilt to right tilt, but your torso has to move with the hips. You don't want to be bumping your hips back here and then coming through here. Well, number one, you're going to start having some nasty back problems, and you're going to have a completely different release. You're going to have a completely different structure. Everything's going to have to be completely, that's not the mechanics for this golf swing. So what you have to do is when you're sliding forward, everything moves together. Remember, take a backswing and you slide in front of the middle. So you put an alignment stick in the middle. You'll be a little bit loaded on just to the right of it. And then untwist off that, unload, untwist by pushing the right foot this way. See how it kind of moves the body open? Well, that gets you in position to hit the ball. And that's a slide. That's really the entire slide. So you're here, you twist that right foot, and then you'll notice that your body is moving forward and open, ready to strike the ball. That's where you need to be. That is the entire slide. It's the slide is a fundamental where it's created from the back foot sliding you over. It's actually a pressure shift, a rotational pressure shift, and a slide glide to the left side, ready to strike. So that is the slide. Just talking to you guys about the lower part of your body. But what does the upper part of your body do, right? Yeah, I have said that it has to go with it. But when does it go with it? Well, when it goes with it, it always goes with it. It always goes. The right side always wants to go in the direction that it wants to go. So it's not rotating. You're not rotating the right hand. If you rotate the right hand, you're going to go right on top of it, and you're going to screw everything up. So when you're taking this right hip is pushing forward, and the left hip is opening up. It's just moving with it. So where does the right hand go? Well, guess what? The right hand goes with the right hip. It all stays together. You don't want it. You don't want it going separate. You want the right hand or the right elbow going with the right hip at the same time. So whatever speed and whatever direction this right hip is going, that right elbow is going with it. You're not forcing anything out. Just look. So you can go on a wall, put your head on the wall, and you get yourself into a strike position. Just think about moving your right elbow in the same slot, as your right hip. That's where it's going. You're not releasing the club with the right hand, just so you know. This swing does not release the club, so when you're taking it here, it'll only be right here. You're not releasing it with the right hand, okay? So that's the slide. That's how it should feel like. You shouldn't feel like there's going to be a little bit of extending the right elbow, and that's all you're doing. From here, you're slowly extending the right elbow, getting the club into a position. Right here. That's it. You're not putting any pressure on the hands. You're not using your shoulder. You're not trying to push it out. You're not trying to do any of that. All you're trying to do is slide with the right hip. The right arm moves with the right hip. If your right hip moves bad, your right arm's going to move bad. So wherever your right hip goes, so you're going to have to do a lot of training on this portion on the hips. Right here. You can just put it right here and then slide this way. Twist, slide. Twist the right foot, slide to the left, and open up the left hip. That's it. That's it. That's the motion. Guess what? The right arm moves with it. So you have a little structure. It's a little tight. So when it's tight, your arm doesn't want to go too far out, and it doesn't want to go too far left. It kind of stays within your torso. You can't do too much with it. So it's really important that you have connection and you have arm structure while you're doing this. So you take your backswing, you load it, you slide. Remember, right hand goes with right hip, and then that's it. That's your slide. The next video is going to be called Stand Up and Face the Target. And that's actually where we release the club. If you've noticed in this video, all I've talked about is the right side. So all you're doing is trying to get this right hand moving with the right hip. Okay, everything is kind of neutral at this point. And the next video, I'll be here shortly.